night. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairground Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Looking for a new PC or an upgrade to your current one? Look no further than Ford Entertainment Group, your home for the best quality and value in new, pre-built, and custom PCs at the lowest price guaranteed. We have affordable PC solutions for any budget, with custom builds starting at $595. Even the pros turn to Ford Entertainment Group to get them up and running. With valued customers from all over the world, it's easy to see why Ford Entertainment Group is the most trusted brand in custom PCs.
I wanted to save my awesome subscribers the most money when they started their sim racing journey, while I started trying to look for the best deals. And I'm so proud that Jeffrey and I have partnered up so I can spread the good news about where to get the lowest price on a high quality computer.
Feel confident when buying from us with the FEG Satisfaction Guarantee. Get yourself on track today by visiting us online at fegpc.net.
And hello again, everyone, and welcome back here to PTM Racing TV. Right now, as we are live at North Wilkesboro Speedway, where the drivers of Pedal to Metal Racing League currently finishing up the practice and qualifying times here as they're getting set for tonight's action here, ready to line them up into the gridding order. We are ready. We are paced in and set. Here is tonight's Bob's Custom Trophies gridding order here tonight. On the pole, Robert the Rattlesnake on the 20, and the number 6 is outside. The 84 of Matthew Hoffer. Row number 2, it's going to be Keith Checkmate Taylor, and the 8 is outside. Cindy, the Golder Taylor, and the number 7. Row number 3, it's going to be Chantel Throttle Bottle on the 5 to her outside. It's going to be Jason Reif in that 54. Row number 4, it's going to be Chad Lancaster, and that 22 it is outside. It's going to be Jeffrey Todd Tufts in the 72. And your final star sees Stanley Chadwick Bottle in that 48 to round out the field as we get ready for this one. The famous North Wilkesboro Speedway. Now, if that name right there doesn't bring a lot of memories back or bring you a little bit up on your feet, I don't know how you are breathing right now. This place is old school as they come, as they get. This track, I'll get more into in a minute just about it, but let's go ahead and take a look at the race info here. This is what they are looking at here. Oval shaped design, very stable in bridges and bilges. The one thing that makes this track so unique, though, is that you're going to see that bottom and the outside line really be the factor here. And each turn, different in its corner, different in its course, really can sway these drivers a little bit one way and send them to another realm. They've got to be very careful about that. We'll talk more as we go through the field here. We'll get through the race here tonight. Driver's still pacing back in, trying to get the gridding ready to go here. It looks like problems for Keith Checkmate Taylor. The 8 having problems getting to the gridding order here. He has only got about 20 seconds left before he must initiate to the grid, or he will be held in line and will not be able to start. Robert Rattlesnake on, fastest qualifier here tonight. Laying down a fast lap there, a strong lap to say the least. Really just kind of outwitted and outsmarted the other drivers on that position. Keith Checkmate Taylor is not going to be able to get to the gridding order to start. That will play a factor for him because Chantel Throttle Bottle will move up one spot from that and maybe have an opportunity to edge out and defend off that run that Cindy Closer Taylor has right now in the points race. We'll have to see as we go along here, as I currently have to give you the technical difficulties little thing here. No worry, nothing on our end, just unfortunately the stream needed a little refresh is all. 120 laps to the distance here tonight for these drivers. Matthew Hoffer still searching for his first career win in the Super Late Models division this season. As of course the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn, that's 6. He's no stranger to winning on the Super Late. He's looking to try to do it here again tonight. Cindy the Closer Taylor, though, has been the driver everybody has talked about throughout this season and trying to figure out a way to defeat her and win on the circuit. She has been bad fast every time out. Will she keep it that way, though, in this one? Chantel is not too far off in points-wise. If Cindy has a bad night here and Chantel can get a good night of racing in, going into next week, if Chantel can pull one more big win and just get one win on Cindy, that may just be the closer that honestly could be the end of it all for her. We'll have to find out, though. They have to get through the night first, so Cindy needs to win to secure her name and secure 2 season championships. She's already got the trucks pretty much locked up for next week. Yeah, she just needs this one here as the green flag flies. Now the whole shot, you can see already how deeply turns these are. These corners a little bit higher, banked up on the outside line there. When you see it turn 3 and 4, but look here right at turn 1 and 2. Look at how sloping the track is and how it plays into that. That is really the biggest factor North Wilkesboro has against all the other tracks, short term and long term wise. You You want to talk about tracks that literally have withstanded the test of time and really have shown what they are capable of. I don't think it gets any more old school than really this track, because this is just absolutely a crazy track to race and a fun one at that. We're on board right now with Matthew Hopper. Well, you can see him rocking hard on that bottom line there. He's trying to keep it going. You notice again right there, look at that. Look at how it slopes down a little bit as they go into the bottom lane of turn 1 and 2. It's really like just an uphill battle on turn 2 to the backstretch there, but then you got that long road of turn 3 and 4 you have to corner around 2. That's the difference on maintaining control and also surviving with the tire pressure here. Obviously with the Carolinas being a big prominence here for NASCAR and everything that started with it, really this is where NASCAR was born and created. And North Wilkesboro is just as big a part of the foundation of laying down what we have today than any other track. We'll get more of that here later on. Right now it's Cindy the Closer Taylor and the number 7 kind of laying back a little bit on Chantel Toronto for number 5. I gotta believe Chantel right now, she's just trying to serve here more than anything. Trying to hold out that Matt Mills Racing number Fox Machine, Green Tech Energy Beast number 5. She doesn't want that Ford Performance Mustang there of Cindy Taylor already getting a jump on her or anything like that. She wants to try to hold on to her line, try to stay in a good run or two. And I believe right now also streaming up on her channel of Puddles Racing, so if you guys want to check out that, you can check that out as well right now, as there seems to be a little bit of a problem there for the 5 car. She comes out immediately. Something not going right there for the 5 of Chantel. We'll have to take a look at the PTM replay and find out what was the cause of that. As I was just really giving her some little love here around here. Apparently my broadcaster curse is still in existence. I guess it just doesn't work on John Thacker anymore. Looked like she got kind of loose out of turn 1 and 2, and already when she was starting to have troubles, the 7 of Cindy Closer Taylor just kind of got into her and tagged her a little bit. It doesn't look like too much damage still on the left corner. Thankfully, she'll have time to bring that back and try to reel her back in. So that is your first caution of the night, your tail of the time. And that will lead us off into the next round of racing here as they will bring it back in pace zone. Robert the Rattlesnake on, that Valvoline number 6, still the race leader here tonight. And if you're going to wonder at home as well, like, how come we're not really doing any other kind of crazy camera angles and all that? Well, to be honest, iRacing didn't really give us that kind of pleasure, and I didn't have time to go in and change everything. So, unfortunately, what you see is what you got. We've only got these cameras and then the onboards and a couple of chopper and blimp cams I'll throw every now and then in, but this is the biggest camera we got right now for the track itself. And to be honest with you, I'm not too mad about it. I'm not too worried about it. I kind of like it, to be honest with you. Kind of short, sweet, simple, but unique in its trajectory. Jeffrey Todd Tubbs had a bit of a good season as well here. He's got a race win on the show. Won that back, I believe, about 2 weeks ago. Hasn't been to victory lane since. Stanley Chadwick model there in that 48. Made his television debut last time out at Martinsville, where he told me earlier these things are a lot trickier to run than I thought. I didn't even know how the heck to run them. And I just kind of gave him a little pointer here and there, and I'm just like, man, you gotta relax and just let the car come to you, because these cars do not help at all when it comes to holding on to that stuff. Robert the Rattlesnake on number 6 though will try to hold off the power that is the 84. We're still under caution at the moment as the lights continue to flicker on the pace car. Obviously no lights here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, so they have to run in the daytime. Although, to be honest with you, if they ever can finally figure out how to renovate this track out and get it done just right, we'll see. I guarantee you almost we'll see lights eventually. So that kind of brings me to my next point. You probably are wondering at home, why do I keep saying, like, when they renovate or when they do this or when they do that? Well, apparently someone named Marcus Lamonis, the guy for Camping World, has pretty much all but confirmed he has been starting to put things in place to bring North Wilkesboro back after his little talk he had on Dirt Media, when the owner of SMI had a little talk on Dirt Media with, of course, our good friend Dale Earnhardt Jr. He pretty much cemented that they haven't forgot about that track, and Lamonis, as he has been wanting to do for the Truck Series, kind of bringing hope to those that wanted and needed. He kind of refreshed on the idea of, well, maybe you should give me a call and we'll get things figured out. Ever since then, it's been just nothing but of a array of crazy talk and stuff we never thought we'd hear in 20 years with the green flag flying back on out. We're back underway. Little problem there out of the gate for the closer. Sydney Taylor going to have to work around that little situation there. Chantel gets a good boost off it, takes back over for third. Right behind him here, Chad Lancaster, straight to the bottom line here. The Fury 72 of Tuff's going to try to hold off. Tuff's doing a pretty good job out of the gate here, giving himself a little bit more breathing room and a little more consistency and control. You can just see right there, man, how hard they have to turn these wheels in to get that thing to take a set. It is all about turning. It is all about cornering. There is no such thing as making a bad turn or corner around here. It's either you made the corner or you didn't. That's the only that's the only way to get around this place. So far, though, they're doing a pretty good job doing what they have to do here. That 5 almost getting right into the rear end there of Hofford. Chantel is trying desperately to get up there quickly to 6 of Robert the Rattlesnake Hahn, and judging by times-wise, she's actually getting a pretty good push up to him. Hahn isn't exactly running away from the field here, running away from the others. And also just something to note, these drivers tonight are not running on the normal open setup. They're running on the fixed setups here tonight. So be very aware of that. That is kind of the game changer for them. Now you're probably wondering at home, wait a minute, well, they're running fixed setups. Why are they not running open? Well, when they started this league season off, they had made an agreement to do a few fixed in there just to kind of give the driver the fair shake and a different chance and not have to work so much on those open setups. But obviously when the new Speedway mode came out, there was a lot of changes and stuff that had to be put into place that really hurt the cars and the drivers as well. And it would end up turning into basically just let everybody get a fair shake still, and we'll have 1 or 2 fixed races, and obviously North Wilkesboro was one of them. So that's pretty much how that boiled down, and that's how that kind of came to be. So that's right now what we are seeing. As you see, Hofford still trying to get there to Robert the Rattlesnake Hahn. Not anywhere to go here for him, but he's still pushing quickly and catching up to him with 100 laps left to go still. Gahn's been pretty smart about how he's handled the turns and how he's handled the runs here, but Hofford is definitely in full-blown attack mode right now, not laying off, not laying anything out. But obviously Hofford seems like he's got a little bit more control under that hood and might be helping him out a bit. Jeffrey Todd he's got out back into the zone. He's standing ahead of Cindy the Builder Taylor, which I gotta believe Cindy's probably not too worried about it right now, but she balled back 2 big spots. And Chantel gets ahead of her. Might be the chance to lose a season title out. Obviously, has secured 1, but I guarantee you she would love to be one of the only drivers to secure 2 in 1 season. That did happen with the last season with the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn. This season, Kahn, well, he hasn't exactly had the season I think he was looking for. He knows it. Yeah, Kenneth Crawford saying #Team Rattlesnake Boy. I'm not saying how he says it, because honestly, my voice would be shot by the time this is over with. And unfortunately, I've got some work I gotta do tomorrow, so it's like I'm gonna get anywhere near that end of the spectrum. I'll give a little bit of love here, of course, to our good friend Pat Stanley here. Unfortunately, way back in the pack here. Keep checking me together, not making the call here tonight, unfortunately. So that ended up hurting his cause a little bit, kind of hurting his run. The onboard camera here with Stanley. This is for you new drivers at home. Just remember, this is what it's like sometimes when you literally don't know what is going on or how to handle these things. This is a good representation of just how difficult these things are. He's been racing for almost a week now. He still has yet to get these things dialed in and figured out. That is how tricky these cars are, and that is how tricky this track is. It is just a fluorescent nightmare of control and stability. That's really the best way to explain it. God, man, give him credit. He is just laying down the run here in that 6 machine. Yet to really been challenged in all honesty. That seems to be the big favorite point for him. 7 Cindy the Builder Taylor now starting to push up a little bit in there. Stanley's got problems. Looks like he's slowed down. Staying out of the way of the drivers. He doesn't want to get into their problem zone. Good on Stanley for staying out of the way and letting the drivers run their race. Jason Reif now back up onto the scene. We know he's got a race winning this season. He went back at Texas Motor Speedway where really, I think in all honesty, he was not expecting to get anywhere near that one or even coming away with the W of all things. But as Lady Luck would have it, he was having it that night and managed to pull off the W and get it going. Yeah, that's pretty crazy when you think about it, but it worked out okay for him. And, you know, he said to me earlier, I'm just glad I was able to even finish that race, much less win it. Sydney's still trying to hunt down Todd Tuss, Hofford and Kahn, trying to outweigh and outdo each other here. Now, to be honest with you, folks, I'm thinking, whoa, a little bump there from Cindy the Closer on the Todd Tuss camp. Not sure if Todd might have got a slight bit loose and jerky on the run there. All I know is here comes Jason Reif now on the inside of the 7. Two grooves you can hit, but everyone always says the only line you need to hit is that bottom end. Get close as you can to the aprons and keep as close as you can to the grass. And make sure you dime it off out of turn 1 and 2 to make sure that thing holds on. You overdrive it like Reif does it right here. You really got to bring that thing back in quickly. Trouble there for Stanley yet again. So Stanley will have to go back into pit road, try to get some adjustments made. I guarantee you, though, eventually you'll see him really start to hang with some of these guys and really start to put up a fight with some of them. Jason Reif with the pass there. Looks like he made a nice little solid pass coming out of turn 4. And Reif will take over position now, looking to charge up ahead and get closer to Mr. Todd Tuss as we look at the lap times here for those two. And really, it's nothing but just straight up consistency for Mr. Tuss, but at the same time, Reif's getting quite a run on him too. And that run just so happens to be right back on his outside corner panel there, the right side in trouble of Reif making the pass. He will do it indeed. But can he lay into it thick enough on the outside run? He does. Tough. He's not able to get it back up there and get the run off that. He's not able to hold it. Cindy the Closer Taylor now is just in more trouble if she gets into that wall protection. She's struggling so bad right now. But again, it is early, so I mean, it's easy to get some adjustments figured out and done up later, and then just go from there. So it'll be interesting to see what she has in mind, how she'll handle it. Whoa! Staley Paul yet again crashed in there out of turn 2, and he is stopped completely. Oh! Cindy Taylor still gets a little tick of him. No caution call, but Stanley, I'd get going, dude. There you go. Refire, baby. All right, hold on. No. Don't go up. Don't go up. There you go. Maybe he's got a little bit of a video cam right now with us, and he's listening carefully. Oh, man. Now, thankfully, he did not take anyone out or wreck anybody there, but unfortunately, Cindy did get a little noggin knocker off that. Not sure if that did anything to the car itself. We'll take a look on the front of it. Yes, it did actually. You take a look at that right side. There is a little damage on the fender. How much does that affect the aerodynamics? Well, in a way, it kind of hurts you more than anything, because if it tightens up the slightest bit, then it's pretty much just going to be a headache to try to keep it on line, keep it on spot. Todd Tuss still hard on the run, still hard on the momentum. This track right now wielding some pretty good results, I must say. For a short track kind of run, this is where it really all plays down and blows in. Consistency is key here, and it is a strong point to finish it out. Here comes the closer. Cindy now finally able to get around Todd Tuss here, and I gotta believe she was being very, very patient, waiting for that moment, waiting for that time. She knows she doesn't need a big spot or two from these drivers. She just needs a good run or two away from them, and to make sure that this gal right here does not get ahead of her too much. Robert Hutchinson, it's too late getting all work. Robert, it's all right, man. We'll still catch you next time out, bud, when the season champion's up. Denise Wealthroth saying hashtag Team Hofford. Well, right now, hashtag Team Hofford is about 2 seconds back of Robert Kahn, but hey, he's not done it exactly yet. He's still got a long road ahead of him as we go on to the onboard camera with him. Got a couple of onboard cameras. You saw me throw him into that roll bar, and I made sure to stick a camera on his helmet before he even got on the car. He asked me, why did you do that? I'm like, oh, just because I felt like putting a camera on the top of your head so I can see what you're up to. Needless to say, he was questioning my methods and questioning my momentum. But that is alright, because I honestly have no regards and no regrets for doing that at him. So, there you go. And speaking of no regrets, looks like Cindy just made a big move there on the 54. Right. Falling back behind, he actually lost 2 spots. Todd Tusk managed to make a pass him as well here. A lot of hard rattles and runs coming from every which way to Sunday. Some folks trying to hold on to it and see if maybe they can push through with it. But again, you know, that's kind of the risk you play around here is, do you risk trying to burn the tires up quickly, or do you try doing more of a conservative method and try to run your way that round? Remember, the drivers are doing 50% fuel and they only get 5 sets of tires. And on a cold tire, to be honest with you, this track, it's like thin ice. It gets you so loose and it gets you in so much trouble, but the speed you can carry is fast paced and all that. Robert saying I was looking forward to being there. Pretty disappointing. Yeah, Robert, it's just one of those things, man. I got to work this job, and then I got then I work another job, obviously, which pretty much I might as well just make these my 2 full-time jobs I do. And making time for anything much as the race is easier said than done, I will say that. But if you're dedicated to what you gotta do and you gotta do what you gotta do, man, that's what it's all about. Cindy is not exactly ran off from Chantel. Chantel's not exactly getting away from the closer. Chantel for the 3rd fastest right now, maybe in the top, she's definitely a top 5 contender, and maybe not a 3rd fastest driver, but you know, Robert Kahn, I think, is just in a league of his own right now. I think he just has this track dialed up and dialed in. I don't think there's any questioning that. Now, it's kind of funny, though. We don't see him around too much if often anymore, and it seems like he's been kind of laying back a little bit, not really running as much as he should. But he's been coming out here and running still, so we got to give him credit where credit's due as the halfway caution comes out now. So that said here, Robert Kahn will be our caution of the tail winner. He'll be the stage winner here, of course, so that will give him this distinct advantage here, and see what happens with this now. Checkmate Taylor saying, same with me, Bob, and Checkmate was unfortunately supposed to run here tonight, but it did not have time to get out from the pit issue, so you have to watch from the sidelines as we take it to a quick commercial break. But don't go anywhere, folks. When we return, we're going to see the next half of SLM Racing League's Silver Late Models division as they try to finish this one out. Well, tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at McConey Setup Shop. Only the best and fastest setups come from McConey Setup Shop. Visit them up their website at McConeySetupShop.com to find the right setup for your next race. By Matt Mills Racing Team, best Xfinity team out there, is sponsoring and supporting Pedal to Metal Racing League this season. If you want to support Matt Mills Racing Team, visit them up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out their shirts merchandise line as well on Facebook. Buy Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, supplying up the trophies for the season champs. If you're looking to get the best hardware gift done your way for your next event, or a little Father's Day gift coming up, then you visit www.bobscustomtrophies.com. I did mention trophies. Someone is going to be taking home one of those beautiful pieces of hardware. Who will it be in each series? You'll find out as time goes on. But thank you again to Bob's for the help. Buy SimRacingMerch.com, the perfect way to show your passion for sim racing. By Grid Finder, the best way to find a new league. Filter search by race day, your geographical region, gaming platform, racing sim, and car class. You need a broadcaster, live designer. While you search Grid Finder, the home of online racing. By The Butt Kicker, best in performance for feeling on real tracks in the virtual world. The Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing. By FEGPC.net, matching your want with your wallet. They will always work with your needs to build the best PC at the right price. By Brandon Minnick Sim Racing, be sure to head on over to his Facebook page and check out his iRacing journey. Thank you again to Brandon Minnick for being a proud supporter of Pedal to Metal. By Bottles Wraps, if you want your vehicle to match your style on the track, on and off, then you visit up Bottles Wraps for just that. The most affordable designs made at your leisure. And by, of course, Green Tech Energy, leading the way in solar company flair and natural abilities. Green Tech Energy is definitely the natural choice. As we get things settled back around here currently, the Rattlesnake will have starting gun. Hoffer will try to keep up with him. It's only our second caution of the night, obviously, this being a halfway caution now, so we'll We'll see what happens here and does need be. Keith Taylor saying wife getting her nails done and not back. Keith Taylor saying let's go Cindy. Well, Keith, man, it's what it is, man. It's all, but just remember, a happy wife is a happy life. I say that knowing I'm not married or even with anybody. So, hey, ladies, it's all jokes aside. We're getting ready to get back to the green flag racing here. Pace car comes off out of turn 4. We're setting them up, settling down, fire on all cylinders. We're green flag racing. Right out of the gate, Todd Tufts. I'm not sure if he gave the 5 a little bump and run there, but Chantel saved that one by a good shot. Looked like a bit of a drifter there for all I could consider there. She was holding on to that one pretty well. Right up into the wall protection out of the gate here. Chad Lancaster trying to keep it in line. Staying right to the bottom and giving it a good run, but he gets right into the grass plains yet again. This is short track racing when it gets difficult. Cindy the closer, Taylor, and the 5 of Chantel throttle bottle. Hard battles here between the 2 females of the sport. 2 of the toughest ladies in each division, each branch, just going at it day in, day out. They don't hold anything back. They don't need to worry about breaking a nail. They could care less. Get some grease on the fingers and just wrench that son of a gun around. That's how they do it. And you're seeing why that is. Cindy up on the wall protection outside. Chad Lancaster right tagged in there at a turn 4. Ooh, it's a little bit of a different short track race than I was expecting here on that last half. Now things have gotten pretty interesting. Cindy falling back a slight bit here, getting a little bit less in control. Chad is unfortunately a lap down. He's trying to push up though to get ahead as the caution comes out. Caution is out. Now, not sure where the caution came from or where that went from, but I'm not sure what happened there, what was going on, but yeah. Robert Hutch is saying, Chantel, back up the corners a little more. Yeah, that's one thing I'll say. Hey! Oh, wait a minute. Well, I don't think that was intentional, but that's still pretty damn funny. Oh, Todd Duff's got wrecked. Going into pit road by Cindy. I'm not sure what the heck happened. Alright, this is the piece of history replay. I'm going to try not to laugh at this one. Alright, Todd, what does he do here? Whoa! Just forget where her eyesight was. What's she doing? I mean, Cindy, no offense, but I mean, I don't know what was going through your mind there, girl, but I gotta admit, that's pretty funny. Thankfully, they got some instant repairs in there, so I don't think Todd's gonna be too mad about that. I think he's gonna be alright. I guess short track racing plays on and off the track, though, while we're at it, so hey, why not? So Robert Lorel still will be a race leader out of the gate. Let's pit road wise. He did not get the start he was looking for. Trying to see real quick. Actually, it looks like he did not get out of pit road the way I thought he was. Chantel and Chad Lancaster actually got out of pit road pretty well there. Ooh boy. Hard on the brakes there. The guys and gals had to back off quickly. Chad Lancaster opted to stop and stay out and run his race. Interesting strategy from Mr. Lancaster. We'll see if he works out all well for that. I do believe Chad's got 1 race victory in the season, though I can't remember which track it was at. If he did not, I do apologize for mentioning that little fun factoid there, Lancaster. Obviously a tough hombre in his own right, good driver as well. Trying to possibly put this one up into position, so we'll see how well this plays out here. Chantel, though, will have pretty much the chance of a lifetime to possibly keep Robert Kahn back there and possibly move through the field. Hard racing to boot and follow here. Who will be able to hold on to this one? As I mentioned before, though, as well, that, you know, with what's going on right now with North Wilkesboro, there is actually going to be a little bit of renovation being done, I believe, in the coming months and coming weeks. So if you're on Twitter, I would do 2 things. Number 1, follow Marcus Lamotas and catch out whatever the heck goes through that man's mouth, because honestly, every time I hear it, it just sounds like gold. It just sounds like music to my ears. I'm hoping they do bring this track back and they bring everything back around, because even though I'm not a huge fan of NASCAR, this is honestly one of those tracks I have truly fallen in love with for a multitude of reasons, this being one of them. We're on the restart, green flag is out. Hofford on the outside line gets a nice jump around the throttle Chantel bottle. The 5 now trying to get back up in there with the 84. Matthew Hofford getting a little bit more ahead of the field, starting to pace his way around. Problems for Stanley Bottle though going on in the front straight away. The old turn 4 got him good there. The Rattlesnake Rubber Con just marching through the field. He does not care who's in front of him. He only thinks about one thing, and that's getting to the front. He wants to be on top. He wants to take home a victory. He's holding on for dear life, trying to get a good position, good run off that. Jason Wright now just right there with him, trying to fire on all cylinders. Dakota Taylor, though, is a lap down at the moment. I'm not sure where that came from or what happened, but she's going to be a lap down and falling behind here. So Todd Tusk, around her, might have a bit of a chance here to possibly make some big changes, some big runs here. The Rattlesnake now has to get a big jump on there on the 5. Chantel holding him off, though. This is where short track racing comes into play. Defensive maneuvers work every time. Or will they? The Rattlesnake look to the inside and try to take over from the 5. Now it is Chantel that has to defend, but the problem is when you try to defend one area of the track, there's a way to get around you, and Colin knows how to do it. Outside looking in. This is one thing about North Wilkesboro that a lot of people do not mention nearly enough. It's when you're defending, if you get one slight bit off of making your corners just right, it messes with you and it hurts you more than it actually helps you. And it just did that to the 5. Chantel falls behind. Robert Cohen moves into second. Back on board here at Jason Wright, as he's currently moved up into 4th here. Pushing pretty hard, I must say, and you can see that car is driving hard as well. He's having some trouble getting that thing steered in. As folks have kind of talked about and alluded to here earlier on, you really have to back those corners up around here. Those corners are your saving grace and are your stability to finding a way around this place. And for good reason, obviously. To the blimp cam we go. Oh no, the 5 loose. Can she save it? No, she's got to plow right behind him. Oh my. Oh man, caught that right as she was going around the corner. She had nowhere to go, and unfortunately brings out yet another caution. Let's go to the PTM instant replay and take another look at this one. You're gonna see it come around turn 2. Look at that, just the left front and the left rear just barely get into it, and it's a miracle that girl did not flip over. But how bad did the suspension taking damage look off that? That's for the question I have. Well, that was your PTM Instant Replay, brought to you by Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts tonight. So as we circle back around after that 4th caution of the night, we'll see who is able to pull ahead and start to pull a little bit more in. Laps are winding down, time is running out, and Hoffert is in the precarious situation, being in a cat and mouse chase, because here, Con will have the opening. Will he capitalize? We'll find out when we return.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Of course, PTM Racing Racing TV couldn't do it without the help and location of the sponsors here tonight. For these drivers, Pedal Metal Racing League, can't help but thank these guys and gals all around the sponsorship from these folks that you see on your screen. Thank you again for everything there. And we hope you will continue on and work with us here as we go along. Obviously, thank you to the friends and family and fans out there that always tune in, come and watch these crazy races, these crazy battles. Without you guys, these races would be nothing without you. And we can't do it without you here. So as we get things fixed on in and ready to go for the restart here, driver seeing the lights off on the pace car. Time is evaporated. Time is now closing in. Chantel will have another chance of possibly taking Robert Kahn behind her. Chad Lancaster's going to get a little bit of a bump and run on this here as well. How well does that work out? We'll find out here as the lights come back on. We've only got about 40 laps or so left to go. The rattlesnake right out of the gate, trying to make a big charge there out of turn 2. Makes a big run. Jason Wright right behind him, firing on all cylinders, while Chantel Throttle Paddle tries to hang there with Lancaster and the 84 of Hoffer. You can see Hoffer right now just trying to be very consistent. Chad Lancaster goes for a ride. Oh boy. And now this is where the short track racing phenomenon comes into play. Well, 5th caution of the night. Let's go back and look at that. I think we had a pretty good angle there, I must say. Let's see what happened here, though, from the overhead view. See Lancaster. It looks like he might have brought it down slightly. Chantel kind of tagged him a little, and all the drivers avoiding for the most part there, but Lancaster did get a little bit of a hiccup or two in there, so that admittedly will slow him down slightly. And Hoffer right now has to go into pit road, and I don't think that's what he wanted to do, but he's just kind of forced to do it due to fuel and tire restraints, so we'll see if that works out for him okay. Still a little bit of time left for the drivers. Who's going to be able to pull it away, though? We'll have to find out. We only got about 40 to go. Who's going to take it home? We'll find out when we return.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in Irish. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the show right now as we're currently about ready to turn the lights off on the pace car next lap around. Currently Robert the Rattlesnake Kahn still with the Produvitus race lead. He's been pretty much there all night long with a few hiccups on occasion. Hofford was doing pretty strong there, pretty valiantly, but unfortunately with Lancaster getting into it there, had to go into pit road to try to save his tires, save his fuel up. And I gotta believe with this last pit stop here, I gotta think maybe he's trying to outsmart Kahn on the long run and try to build up enough momentum to catch him. Will that work out all right? We'll have to find out. Right now, Robert Hutchins saying also as well in the comments section, driving it down in the corner too hard and sliding on 2 front tires. Yeah, that's kind of the thing we were talking about earlier with this track, man. As that bottom line, it slopes down on turn 1 and 2. So as you're coming down that little narrow hill there on the front stretch, you're then going right up this little hill here on the back stretch. And the best way I can explain it, it's almost like you literally took kind of the idea of Dover, and then you kind of flip-flopped it around and changed it to where it's kind of like what Bristol Motor Speedway is. It's the best way I can explain it. I don't remember any track that kind of does it like that. Nevertheless, it is an awesome facility and an awesome little track here. Carved out here in North Carolina as we bring it back to the green flag, flying high in the air. Kahn pulls away from Chantel. Chantel is trying to get into the inside there of Kahn, trying to make a move early. Jason Rife now starting to build up a little bit of position and run here. Cindy the Closer Taylor catching him right back up there with the boys and girls here. Chad Lancaster, good boy, he almost took Cindy for a ride there. Backed off the throttle there, nicely done. Here comes that big run though from the 5. Oh my, she drives in deep there on Con. Con having all sorts of problems there. Robert has to try to hold on to the outside, looking in. He's not able to do so. Right problems there on the front straightaway. He's crashed in. Watch out down that back straightaway. Watch out. Turn 3 and 4. He's not there no more. He jumps into the pits. So they'll keep it clean. I'm not sure if Rife got into it there, if they crashed, or what happened exactly, but nevertheless there, Chantel still trying desperately to make one big move there on Con, trying to make a run off of him. While they make a run or two here, let's find out what happened on Rife here on the PTM Instant Replay, just so we know for sure. Looks like came out of turn 3 and 4. He just overdrives it, I think. Yep, he overdrove it there. Tire spun and yeah, nowhere to go. I just kind of set him for a little ride or two there. And that unfortunately means he's having to get a little bit of a fix up there on that car. Back to the live feed right now, and Chantel is not giving anything to her old nemesis, the rattlesnake here. Colin's not exactly running away from there. 5 looking to push through, try to push this one to the end. Ooh, he still hangs on. He's pushing that middle line pretty hard though, I gotta admit. If he overdoes it the slightest bit, that could be troublesome for him later. He's got to be careful about that. Now the Hopper trying to put his strategy to good use and trying to move up closer to the field. I like what he was thinking earlier, but you know, the question is, will that work out in his long-term favor here? See Chantel and Con getting into a little bit there. Looks like we've got a change of position here. Up front, Con into the wall protection, trying to hang on. Chantel straight to the bottom, side-by-side duel for the race lead. Cindy is right behind both of them though. Any little mistake on either end of the spectrum and it's hers to take. She's done it before at Nashville Fairgrounds and we're on a short track, so you know it's her bread and butter. Hoffer though is not done yet, not giving out. These drivers are just wailing on it. Side by side duel for the race lead. Kondo finally pushing a little harder. He's giving a little bit more momentum onto that. I saw it that time around. And there it is right there. You can see him starting to grab a little more grip. That car is starting to grab more. He's like, I've had enough of this little side by side duel there, Chantel. I'm moving away from you. Well, that might help them out short term, but will that go for long term? I hate to say it, but I think he might have a good long term in that thing because it seems like it's working out okay. But here comes Hoffer, the 84 Alan Glee machine. Old Hoffy not giving up to nothing here. So the onboard camera here is Chantel, and again, just look at how deep these corners are and how rich that spot is on how they run down. Now take a look here. You saw how they lift it kind of up there, and then they're going down a little slope. How it caves in there on the bottom just enough. That is the beauty here of North Wilkesboro. And then it just drives right up to the top side. It's just really weird to see a slanted kind of track like that. Much as kind of an area where usually you see more flat bank surface and cornering. It's different, a different feel and a different look to it. And to be honest with you, I actually really enjoy that, as I mentioned before, because of the fact that it's different in that look of it. It has more, edgy feel to it. I think maybe that kind of plays more into the favor for these super late models and more for the late models than anything else. Although one car I would definitely love to see how it would run here is definitely those Wheeler Modifieds. Hopper right now trying to get a run there on the throttle. Chantel Bottle still holding on for dear life, trying to keep that second place spot in. Hopper giving her everything he can though. He's throwing everything except the kitchen sink at her right now anyway. Oh, I don't think he has to worry too much more. Stride sound out of turn 2. Problems for the throttle. And her season might have just came to an end. Her hopes of taking down Cindy might have just came out of turn 2 just like that. Jason Rife now going to get a Elizabeth says he's going to get a little bit of his time back by getting around her, but that looks like Chantel's not going to exactly let that happen. Man, what a tough break there. Obviously not what you want to see from any driver or any contestant. But that's just kind of the really crazy world of motorsports for you. It happens when you least expect it. Stanley Powell right now, currently up in 7th here, is actually ahead of Jason Wright, the key checkmate. No offense, checkmate. Oh, I had to say that. Oh, he's right into the wall there. He drove that thing in way too deep. Oh, he's in more trouble. He's in big trouble. Get her stopped, baby. He gets it stopped. Got stopped, thankfully, and obviously nothing too serious or major coming away from that. Take a look at our chase cam right now. This is our little drone cam, if you will. You get a good look at that number 7 of Cindy the Golden Taylor, and this is generally, if you're on iRacing, this is what you see a lot of when people do spotting and all that. They try to do more of that kind of outside field or third person look, and that's what they're after. That's why you see a lot of times where they bring out the road cams as well. So thankfully they haven't bumped and banged anybody with those things, so that's the good news. Right for now, trying to just somehow remedy this race out, maybe trying to get a little bit of time in for himself and just kind of show what he's up to here. He's currently looking toward the outside line there of the 5 Chantel Pottle, but I feel like he's got to worry about it no more. Chantel extremely loose in the corner. She overdrives it out of exit, and that's because that car is just tore up. There's nothing left for it. Robert the Rattlesnake on now, moving in deeper to a finish, looking deeper to a close. As the Valvoline number 6 possibly shifted gears, just shifted his way to victory lane once more. He's only got 13 laps he needs to complete to confirm. It's been a solid night all day long for the Rattlesnake. Consistency, perfection, and just really all around a little bit of luck here or there has been his key to success, has been his saving grace. And I gotta believe he's happy about that. He's gotta be happy about how that one turned out. But I mean, if you're any of the other drivers, you're thinking, where has this cat has been kind of working around here for a while now. I was wondering where he went. Offer, man, he's giving her everything he can, but it just, there's nothing left. Colin is just driving too hard on those corners and just getting too good of a run off those exits. Well, we're going to be down to the final 10 laps now. The flagman will let him know we've got 10 laps to go by holding up 10 high fives in the, with holding up 10 fingers, 2 high fives. That means 10 to go. Chase arrived now, putting up a little bit closer here. Chad Lancaster. Lancaster going up on the outside, trying to stick with the run, stick into position. Trying to go for broke, trying to stay with it. It is Rife and Lancaster still in their prime, in their spot. Lancaster, I gotta believe next season will be one of those guys you gotta keep an eye on. And Chantel obviously doing a pretty good run this season, currently in 2nd in points. Definitely nothing to be ashamed of there, but I have to believe we have yet to hear the full run and story of the old throttle. Offie Hofford there in the 84 Valvoline. He does have 1 season championship under his belt in the PTM Dirt Series. He won season 2 there. And he did tell me earlier that was still one of his crowning achievements here on iRacing. He didn't even expect that of all things, but he took me down of all things by 1 point. Man, he was ecstatic and happy, and I was the first one to go up there and congratulate him. Not to toot the horn or anything, but you know, the kid deserved it, and he deserved every bit of it. And honestly, with him racing these Super Late models, you can see why he has deserved every bit of the runs he's gotten out here. Whoa! And Stanley Pottle there slowed up tremendously here. So kind of in the way here, that 488. I would kind of probably stay down a little bit and out of the problem zone. I'm not sure what's going on with that machine, but it looks like there might be something broke on it. 5 to go. Flagman holds up a high 5. The 6th Valvoline, excuse me, of Robert Kahn. Just pure smooth and control all day round. Chantel into the wall protection yet again out of turn 3. And the struggles and frustration just continues for that 5. Whoa, and Stanley, how about took her out with her there. Bringing it back out on the track. Todd Tuff's trying to hang in with him. Matthew Havert desperately just trying to clamor, trying to hang on for one last bit of piece of his life. 3 laps remain. It has been Khan all day long, just pretty much laying into it, thick and strong. Never really made a mistake, and honestly, I don't think it really was ever challenged tonight. Green flag flies high in the air, 2 laps to go. He just needs to complete one more, and this is over. But you can see how much he backs those corners up and how smooth he is around that run. He made that seam work all day long as the white flag comes out. And now, just icing on the cake. 2.5+ seconds ahead of Hoffert. A good chunk around from Cindy. And Khan once again finds a way to con out the competition and take it home to victory lane. He is going to be a race winner as he slowly transfers over on the front straightaway to victory. North Wilkesboro belongs to the Rattlesnake Air tonight. A solid effort from the number 6 and a solid run there from him. A long, hard race and a long, hard show for a lot of drivers out here, but I gotta believe Khan has gotta be pretty happy about that one and his finish here. Pulling away with this one here. As you see, Stanley just having a little bit of fun out there. I guess he had to break it down somehow for the drivers, having a little fun for himself. We'll take a look at our top 3 here. We'll see if Hoffert and Khan will talk. Cindy, the closer Taylor, will not be talking, obviously. She has mentioned that to me before. Although, honestly, at this point, after this race, now she's pretty much all but locked up the season title. She just needs to show up next time out, and she will win it. But nevertheless, a congratulations there to 3rd for her. As we take it to our 2nd place finisher here tonight, Mr. Matthew Hoffert. He will walk away with that one at least, so something to kind of add on to his collection and have a little bit of go around with it. Hoffert's still 2nd place finish, nothing to sneeze at, nothing to be too mad about at all, I would say. And then, of course, the old fast hombre himself, Robert Kahn, pulling away with the W and pulling away with the victory. He laid it in thick and span here, man. He gave her all she had, and won it all nonetheless. We'll give them another minute and a half here. They don't have too much. You guys, Robert, if you're going to go ahead and keep running out there, man, be my guest, but we still got to talk with some folks here if you're going to talk. We'll give them the countdown timer. I'm going to give them 2 minutes or until I finish up talking about our awesome, wonderful sponsors from this race. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this race and this whole series and season couldn't have been brought to you without the help of McConaughey Setup Shop, Matt Mills Racing Team, Bob's Custom Trophies and Gifts, SimRacingMerch.com, GridFinder.com, The Butt Kicker, FEGPC.net, Brandon Minnick Sim Racing, Bottles Wraps, and of course Green Tech Energy for all their support and all that they have done for the community and the drivers here to help get them on the spot and on the toe. The guys can't thank you enough for all the help there, as we now are joined by our 2nd place finisher here tonight, Matthew Hoffert. And Hoffert, seemed like you had a strategy going in there on those last couple laps, but this looked like Colin just kept getting you there too many times.
Yeah, I pit in that last caution, and unfortunately they caught me speeding, so I had to go to the end of the longest line. But I was kind of hoping those fresher tires, maybe 10, 15 laps fresher than Cons, we're going to catch them. But no, he kept it. We kept it right there, about a second and a half distance, and I just couldn't close the gap.
For sure. Now, I gotta be honest with you. You were still firing all cylinders, giving it everything you had there. I mean, that definitely played into the category of burning those tires up. Did it just burn up too quickly, you think, or what was the big thing for you?
I think me and him were kind of even on how we were doing our tire wear and how we were burning them in and not using them up as bad. I think we just kind of had like a stalemate right there on how we were handling tire wear.
And in this case, he managed to get away from you a little bit quicker than you were able to catch with him. But nevertheless, you're still there. Ain't nothing to sneeze at, nothing to be mad about. I gotta say, you had a good run all the way through to the end, and still coming away second. Definitely saying more than most. So I gotta ask you, man, who do you want to thank you for this one?
PTM League, Racing League, everyone that came out tonight racing. PTM Racing TV for the excellent broadcasting. A couple of our sponsors here, McConey Setup Shop, Butt Kicker, Matt Mills Racing, Paddles Wraps, Grid Finder, and many more to list. Friends and family watching at home, and thank everybody.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Hoffer, it's been great to have you on board. Congratulations on a second place finish here tonight.
Thanks, man.
Second place finisher tonight, Matthew Hoffert, as we now take it down to your first place finisher here tonight, the Rattlesnake himself, Robert Kahn. And Kahn coming away with another W, coming away with another win here. I gotta say, that was some pretty fine driving you had to do in those corners.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was that track was so crucial with tire wear. If you took care of your equipment in like the first 10 laps, you could really go 60 or 70 laps on tires. But they need to bring that track back to NASCAR circuit, that's for sure.
There's plenty of talks about it. I've already kind of mentioned that in the stream here tonight, so you can go back and watch that and see my thoughts on it. But I mean, you still had a lot of work to do and still had a lot of time you got to pace in. I gotta think that was a little bit difficult at times to keep that thing online.
It was. I mean, you just had to be patient. That's a good track for me. It matches my driving style. You just enter really easy and off the corner, 3/4 throttle, and you can. It's a track with patience, and it just kind of matches a little bit of my driving style as far as entry. So it's a fun track, though. It's very difficult, though.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Con, coming away with another W and another victory. Who do you want to thank you for this?
Paddles Wraps, I appreciate you broadcasting, and just to everyone that puts the time into the league and makes it what it is. I mean, everyone does a hell of a job with it, and happy to race with it.
For sure there. Nevertheless, Con, great to have you back on board. Congratulations on your win here tonight, sir.
All right, thanks, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here tonight, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn. As we're going to close this one out here tonight, but ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor and a pleasure to call this one for you and all the folks at home. Thank you again, and once again to our sponsors here for everything. Thank you again to the fans, friends, and family that tune into the show. And until the green flag flies next time on PTM Racing TV, be sure to stay safe, be blessed by our Lord, and I will see you next time in just a few short minutes with Mississippi Dirt at Kokomo Speedway. For now, though, good night, everyone, and I'll see you here in just a few short minutes.